Hello, this is Matthew. I'm an author, artist, and commentator, and these are my offhand remarks on how good Resistance looks. So Star Wars Resistance, the trailer came out this morning. I went ahead and I just watched it right now, and I've pulled clips out, and I rewatched it right now. I pulled clips out, and they're all about 30 seconds long, so I'm going to try to talk about each thing for 30 seconds. Should be about 10 minutes. Hopefully I can fill the whole thing. So anyway, I'm very surprised by what I saw. Here's BB-8. Clearly the animation is pretty good. It's top quality. I didn't expect that. I think this looks better than Rebels. It's definitely a different style. I heard that they had less budget, so I'm a little bit surprised that it looks as good as it does. But maybe they went lower budget and they decided to do less episodes per season. I don't know how many seasons this is going to run for, but anyway, BB-8 looks good, looks cute, moves like BB-8. I mean, they have a CG BB-8 for the movie, so probably use the rigging from that. I don't know. Here's I guess, like, what I've heard of the show, Kaz, or anyway, I can't remember his full name. Like, it's Kaz. It's supposed to be like Japanese. It's supposed to be Japanese anyway. It'll be space Japanese. Anyway, like he wants to be a pilot, as you can see in the trailer, and he talks about it, and he flies some sort of experimental ship. I heard from Making Star Wars that maybe this experimental ship that goes super fast is like what Poe uses in the beginning of The Last Jedi. It's like, it takes all that time to power up, and then he can finally use it, and then just here's another shot. I selected these shots from the trailer specifically because I really like the cinematography on them. I think they're really well-composed shots. They feel very Star Wars-y. Not that Rebels didn't, but I had my issues with Rebels. Overall, I'm very positive on it, but, this is Filoni. He's like in the George Lucas position from Clone Wars where he's executive producing, I've heard. So like he gives them notes and he gives direction on the story overall, and then he lets the other creatives working on it, team writers and directors and whatever, handle executing it and making it happen. So, Resistance is supposed to be, Poe gets this kid who we'll find out where he's from, I guess. Doesn't really matter, because it doesn't matter where you're from in Star Wars these days. Anyway, I'm just joking. But he gets him and he has him. It looks like this thing's like it reminds me of an oil rig. It's like a place out on the ocean, and there's like water all around, which is probably good for production costs. Here's just like a cool dramatic picture. It's an inversion of Luke looking at the twin suns, with R2 and 3PO in the garage or whatever, because he's looking at the moon and he's looking at another planet, and I just kind of get the fool archetype feel from this guy. I mean, he's definitely a fool, and that's not an insult. It's has to do with the hero's journey. So he's young, he's brash, he's excited, he is optimistic about the world, but obviously he gets a taste of a newer world. This looks super cool. It looks like it might be a race. It looks like it just might be a skill test thing, but I really like the look of this. The flight, visually it looks great. I like the concept and I like the execution. It looks beautiful. I really wasn't excited about the show. I thought for some reason, I could have sworn, when they said anime influence early on, I thought, oh, this is going to be 2D, but it's cell shaded 3D animation, and this just looks so good. It looks like it could be a video game, which they should try to do a video game tie-in with this if they can, about flying, because that would be super cool. But the ring, I hope you notice, it lights up when the pilot passes through, so that's pretty neat. Let me see. So I just whether they're training to fly accurately or fly within very narrow parameters, kind of like the Death Star trench run, or just it's a race in the parameters, or you have to fit through those rings or whatever. That's pretty stinking cool. And again, like I said, it looks like it's a big city or a small city on the ocean. And there's this big complex, and there's the water all around, which is pretty cool, because I'm into like freedom, libertarian stuff. There's all these like freedom nations of people who want to live out like on the seas in not necessarily collectives, but like they have like a floating island or a big ship, or a bunch of ships together that they link, and it's like they have a city out on the ocean and it's free because the international borders they're beyond international borders. So who knows if this is supposed to be in the peaceful times of the New Republic. So it's a little hard to see where the threat is going to come from, even though Poe talks about, who's loyal to the good guys, which I think is a little simple, but I'll get to that later. So this looks like a race. People are cheering, but if people were doing cool stuff for training, I can picture myself cheering, depending on how into flight I was. So that's neat. And again, these crowd looks like a good crowd. So I don't know any of the names of these characters. I know the green jacket guy here that you see in the foreground is Kaz, and then this girl in the background, or lady in the background is, I don't know. I don't know her name, but she's cool. She seems all right to me. I like her. Her buns very much reminds me of Sailor Moon, and that's a positive thing in my book. You can remind me of Sailor Moon, that's always a positive thing. So anyway, I like her outfit. It's nice and colorful. It's unique. It's great in the movies that everything looks super realistic and everyone's in drab colors or bright colors. And then, like, you see this girl, I believe it's a young lady. Anyway, oh yeah, look at those eyebrows. Like, she's in kind of more of a drab outfit. And I can't tell if that's supposed to be a blaster. The red and black patch, I don't know if that's supposed to be a blaster or like some sort of tool, because I can't tell if she's a mechanic. I guess it could be like a welding torch in Star Wars, like the one Chewie was using on the Falcon in Empire. Anyway, on Hoth. But you know, so you do have a range here. You have her in drab colors, you have Kaz and the girl in like really bright colors, and for the movies that's great. This is a little joke. I joked at Steel Wars or at Steel Saunders that this guy in the background here was going to be Rex from from Clone Wars, from Rebels, and then Filoni says he might be the guy in Return of the Jedi. Like Nick Santos, or like basically the guy looks like Santa Claus, so they called him something when they released a toy or made stories about him or whatever that basically sounded like Saint Nick. Anyway, so he was in the background of this shot, and I noticed if you look the girl all the way on the left, there's a species of bounty hunter in the Clone Wars that was like her. I can't remember her name, but she was pretty cool, and she and Asajj Ventress hooked up as partners for a while. They were working together. I mean, that's what I mean. Anyway, and then over on the far right, you've got that girl mechanic, I think, and then to her left is looks like a double chin or goitered Rhodian, which that happens. Maybe he has a salt deficiency of some sort. And then this guy in the foreground, I can't tell what species that is. Anyway, Kaz is getting in trouble with this rough, mean-looking guy, like a pig man. He's a big man. Anyway, but like, I mean, look at this animation. The shading is really good. The background, it's nice and blurry. It's faded. I don't know if they're using some sort of like plate, have the characters move around in the foreground, and then that's just a flat background thing that they blur or what. But like the expression in Kaz's face and the expression in this pigman's face are pretty good. He's definitely angry and he's definitely scared of him. I neglected to keep the clip where the pigman threw somebody off of the platform into the water, and he's asking Poe. I think Poe looks cool. He looks pretty much like Oscar Isaacs, and that's a good thing. So anyway, like I talked about, this kid being the fool, like he's starting the hero's journey. He's getting opened up into a new world, and I think this ocean platform thingy is his new world that he's entering, and I wouldn't be surprised if most of the show takes place here, or at least just part of it in the beginning. I don't know who this guy is, but he looks cool. I approve. I like that Gendo Ikari, Abraham Lincoln, oh gosh, what do the people call from the Pennsylvania Dutch? The no mustache beard thing is, it's cool. It's a cool look, and this guy's kind of like got like dreadlocks, and I think that's fun. So he looks really cool. I look forward to seeing this guy, especially he looks like he's going to be fed up with, actually he reminds me of Sojiro from Persona 5. Anyway, looks like he's going to be fed up with Kaz and all his nonsense. So the colorful, I don't know if that's an A-Wing or I don't know with ships, because just, these look like unique designs. I kind of wonder if the teal and orange ship, or light blue and orange ship, is an A-Wing. And like I said, that experimental ship that causes in the yellow one, that might be, it looks kind of like it has the shape of an X-Wing, but it doesn't look like the S-foil split. So anyway, but that's a cool shot. I mean, it's so dynamic. There's so much motion. There's the horizon is tilted, and they're both swooping in, and the contrails behind them look really great. Okay. For whatever reason, it looks like the liner that they're on, or the platform, the ocean platform that they're on, gets attacked by ships. I thought these were TIEs. They look to me more like the Jedi starfighters. And it looks like, they kind of have the cross going up like a TIE, but also the Jedi starfighters had that thing that would open up that we saw in Revenge of the Sith and in the Clone Wars and whatever. So that's pretty interesting. I wonder who would be attacking. Why? Is it the First Order? I don't know. Here you've got the girl, like his rival, and it looks like another girl, and a guy in yellow in the back, and then the Rhodian, but it looks like maybe a different Rhodian, which is cool that they're bringing old species back, and hello, thank you. So I'm really bugged about the movies that they don't have many of the old species, because, like, how big is the galaxy? Anyway. But, very colorful, very unique looking. Each one of them pops. You can tell at a moment which one they are. That's good for toys. That's good for marketing it as a kid's show that's good for, I mean, look, real life is great and being realistic is cool, but, you want things to pop and you want things to sell, and I can definitely see, like, these are cool designs. They remind me of Power Rangers or something, which I don't have a problem with. Speaking of Power Rangers, Gold Ranger power. No. This is a golden Stormtrooper. I wondered for a moment if it could have been Phasma, but with goldish stuff shining on her instead of the silver, like in a couple of the pictures on Jakku, where there's all the fire, like some of her armor looks a little bit gold, but this is definitely gold. And I have a theory about where this gold trooper comes from. I hope it's not a lady like Phasma. That'd be pretty cool. But I think that the gold on this comes from Goldie from Clone Wars, because we know that Palpatine's cruiser or whatever was turned into Phasma's silver armor. Anyway, I'm just joking. I'm really excited about Resistance. I think it looks good. I think there's a lot of potential here. I wasn't expecting much, and I'll still keep my expectations low, but at least I think it'll look really good. It looks like it'll be fun. It reminds me a little bit of the Tron Resistance or Tron Uprising series, just by the aesthetics of it. So anyway, that's really cool. I'm excited, and I'm very much more open to it now. What do you think about Resistance? I want to know. Go ahead and let me know in the comments. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you can watch every video as it becomes available. Thank you so much for your time. If you enjoy my work, please give it a like and share it. If you'd like to chat, hit me up in the comments, like I said, or tweet me at RC_moon. That's RC_moon. RC Moon. Be well, and remember, don't curse that darkness. Shine your light. Until next time.